Welcome to Armstrong High School in Plymouth for high school football action. It's the Falcons' homecoming for 2014 as they welcome in the Bears from White Bear Lake. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Joe Moline. And Joe, kind of difficult start for both of these teams. Armstrong comes in at 0-3, got a new head coach in Jack Negan, and they played quite a bit better last week. 14-0 loss to Blaine. They just have to try and get that confidence that they can win some games.
Yeah, I think they're going to feel pretty good about their defensive effort last week and holding Blaine to 14 points. But what they're really looking to get is the offense going. Of course, only 2 touchdowns on the year, and they've been shut out twice, haven't scored in the second half all season. So offensively, they're looking to gel, and they're hoping that tonight's the night.
White Bear Lake's coming in, a lot of injury troubles for the Bears this year. They are at 1-2. Their head coach is Ryan Bartlett, who was the Armstrong head coach until he went over to White Bear Lake 3 years ago. And he said, it's just been tough because of injuries and some fairly serious injuries, like season-ending type injuries. They did come back and get a nice win against Woodbury last week after they had a tough start at 0-2.
Yeah, the injury bug has seemed to hit a bunch of teams this year, White Bear Lake being one of them. It's one of those things where, because it's earlier in the year, yeah, it hurts a little bit more because you lost some of those guys for the entire year, but perhaps it gives this team a little bit more time to grow, get those players to jump into starting roles and get them to develop for the end of the year run.
Let's talk about key players to keep an eye on in tonight's game. Both of these teams will use a lot of 3 and 4 receiver sets, and the Bears have a big target out on the outside with Andy Lockwood. It goes about 6'4", and has had a pretty good start to the year for them.
Yeah, 6'4", 215 pounds, 15 catches in the first 3 games of the year, so he's a big target for them. He's got 2 touchdowns. He's going to be a big part of that offense, and they're an offense that likes to spread it out, and a lot of different receivers getting the ball, but you can expect him to catch big ones here tonight against an Armstrong defense that hasn't been that good against the pass.
And for the Falcons, we'll talk about their stud junior, Thomas Barber, a guy who we'll see on both sides of the ball. It's a little bit of a push and pull about how much do we use him on offense. He's a great linebacker, good carrying the football, but they don't want to wear him out by having him out there too often offensively.
Yeah, just about 15 tackles per game right now, a couple of forced fumbles. I mean, he's a fierce competitor on defense. He's also your best ball carrier, so how do you keep him rested throughout the game? He's averaging over 6 yards per carry. He's a real dynamic player, so he's going to be important on both sides of the ball, but offensively they have to hope that his touches end up in points offensively because you only can use him so much.
Both teams come in really needing a win or needing to play very well here tonight. They don't meet very often in most sports. Should be an interesting contest tonight. It's the Bears from White Bear Lake against the Falcons from Armstrong, and it's next on 12 Sports.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Good crowd on hand for homecoming. The third member of our crew tonight is Lindsay Gensel. Let's go down to Lindsay before kickoff.
You are watching at home on 12 Sports. Some names you're definitely going to recognize, and they're all coming out of the junior class. Jack Leas, True Thompson, and Thomas Barber all have some big ties to some professional athletes. Jack Leas, of course, the son of Scott Leas, who you'll remember hit a big home run in Game 2 of the 1991 World Series. True Thompson, the younger son of Darryl Thompson, who spent 5 years with the Green Bay Packers and most notably one of the greatest running backs to come out of the University of Minnesota. And Thomas Barber probably has got the deepest ties for any of the athletes on the field tonight. His father is Marion Barber Jr., the younger brother of Dom Barber and Marion Barber III, all of whom spent time at the University of Minnesota and in the professional league playing for the NFL. So a lot of guys to watch here tonight. Of course, Robbinsdale Armstrong, all they're caring about tonight is getting the W in front of the homecoming crowd.
Thanks very much, Lindsay. And I know at least a couple of those dads are around here tonight, probably all three, and been exciting to have their guys in the program. And I know that I remember hearing about this junior class back even when they were playing youth football, that, okay, they've got some guys coming up through the pipeline that might be able to help turn this program around a little bit here. So Troy Smith will kick off here for Armstrong. Back deep for the Bears, Rasan breaks, and also Brendan Whalen. And we are underway, and it's going to come to one of the upmen here for White Bear. It's Jance Anderson, and he will be out over the 30 to about the 32-yard line. So the Bears will get first possession, and unfortunately for them, they've got a couple of quarterbacks injured, so they're really on their third quarterback, Carter Kahn, a junior, who did play pretty well last week, and nothing to be alarmed about there. That's the student section with some powder there. No fire in the stands here, but it's good to see a lot of kids out and excited for football on a really nice warm night. Kahn will work out of the shotgun here. 5 receivers set for the Bears, and he's going to take off and run it on first down. Barber got a piece of him in the backfield and then finished off after a short gain, about a yard, maybe 2. Give him a 1-yard gain. Kahn this time handing it off, and well defended. Quickly dragged down on the play was the back Paul Scogan. And on the stop for Armstrong, Randy Hagan and also Chance Bowen. At about 1 more yard is it. So 3rd and long coming up here for the Bears on their opening possession. Everybody checking those wristbands here as they signal the play in. Kahn dropping to throw, looking over the middle. His pass complete, but it'll be well short of the first down as he hooks up with Easton Perrin, another 6'4" receiver. And the Falcons stopped that one about 3 yards or 4 yards shy of the first down.
So excellent coverage there by Tamil Quinn. Barber came over to help finish out the tackle, but it was Quinn who really defended that first down marker well, letting the receiver catch that underneath and closing in on the tackle.
They're lining up as if to go for it, but they're now going to shift into punt formation here. And Whalen will come on to do the punting here. Flag is down on the play. Return man for Armstrong is Trey Tate. And see who this one might be against.
Well, Armstrong had too many players on the field. You saw that late substitution made by White Bear Lake. It's the newest Raven punting the football. You saw the Patriots even do it against the Vikings last week, and defenses are going to have to adjust and have one of your safeties be prepared to return the ball because they tried to get a returner on there late, and the player who had to come off did not make it off the field in time. They are having some kind of discussion between the officials, but it was thrown because of too many players on the field for the Falcons.
Yeah, illegal substitution, and that should be enough to give them the first down, I believe. So White Bear Lake really had no intention of ever going for that, but it did work out to throw the Falcons off, so give them a 5-yard penalty and a first down for White Bear Lake, and that's a killer for Armstrong. You get a nice stop, what looks like it's going to be a 3 and out, and instead the Bears get a fresh set of downs at their 44. Kahn handing it off again, and this time a big gap right up the middle. Just tripped up inside the 30-yard line. That time is Scogan. About a 26-yard pickup and a first down.
Well, you saw nice blocking up front, but you also saw over pursuit in the backfield from Armstrong as Callan Carlson got in the backfield there, didn't break down to make the tackle.
Going to come right back to Scogan, bounces off a tackler, and he'll drive forward for close to 5 on the play. Relatively well stacked up, it looked like right away, but there's a look at Ryan Bartlett. Good to see Ryan again, but 3rd year at White Bear Lake after he had been at Armstrong. Kahn on the keeper, and he is wrapped up and dragged down. Tommy Larson in on the stop there for Armstrong. No gain on the play.
This is about the fastest no-huddle offense I've seen so far this year. We've seen a lot of people go no-huddle, but the Bears really have some pace to it.
Kahn looking to throw, but a flag down and a false start. All going to go against White Bear. And I can remember, Joe, back, I don't know, what would maybe 10 years ago or so, when it was kind of unusual to see the no-huddle and looking at the wristbands, and now it's just kind of a matter of course for so many different teams.
And now some teams, do the no-huddle because they don't want the defense to huddle, but they still take their time snapping the football and getting the calls from the sidelines. The White Bear Lake has a very fast approach to it so far in this game.
Kahn looking to throw. Pass is complete over the middle, and he's got the big guy Lockwood down around the 10-yard line. It's going to be a first down, first and goal, presumably here for the Bears.
Quick three-step drop, not allowing the defensive line to get any kind of pressure on the quarterback. And this pace, who it hurts the most, too, is those defensive linemen up front and allowing them to get a good pass rush on.
Isaiah Clark on the stop there for Armstrong. Going to be first and goal from the 10 here for White Bear Lake on the opening possession of the night. Kahn will keep it. And ridden down from the side there by Chance Bowen. But a decent hole there. He's going to pick up close to 5, it looks like.
You saw Thomas Barber there kind of get around the fullback, but as he went to the outside around the fullback, that opened up a nice little hole there for the QB. And nice tackle by Bowen, though.
Kahn going to look to run it again. He's having trouble getting to the edge, though, and he's wrapped up. A host of Falcons after the first guy was Quinn to get there. That one had no chance, and he will lose on the play.
See Quinn, the safety, comes around, beats the block there, and then does a great job holding the quarterback up, who outweighs him by about 10, 15 pounds. Had to get some help from the rest of the Falcons, though, to finish that play, but excellent play on second down.
Boy, a big loss, bigger than I thought at first, about a 6-yard loss on the play. So Kahn looking to throw here. Pass was tipped and incomplete as somebody got a piece of it up front, and it wound up behind Lockwood a little bit. Let's see, is this? Yeah, somebody up front got a piece, and then obviously at that point the official signaling tip, so any interference goes out the window right there. Field goal try coming up here for the Bears. Be about a 30-yard attempt coming up. And the kick is up, and it is good. So White Bear Lake on the board first as Anthony Vang drills it through, and the Bears strike first. Boy, a drive that was a very nice drive for them, but that Armstrong penalty was a killer.
Yeah, and we don't know if that was a new wrinkle that White Bear Lake just threw in there this week and perhaps caught Armstrong off guard, but you assume there's probably going to be some adjustments made later on in the game if that situation arises again.
There's a look at Jack Negan, who takes over as the head coach, a good friend of Ryan Bartlett, actually, the coach for the Bears, and he had come over direct from coaching the offense at Holy Angels, but has been a teacher and a basketball assistant for a long time and was here for football before too, so been pretty well known around the area. And when the head coaching job came open, he jumped in, and admittedly it's a fairly long string of not a lot of success. They're going to take some time to get things turned around, and no guarantee it'll happen, but they feel like Jack feels excited about the prospects, the opportunities, and said we've got kids that they're not hanging their heads, they're working. He said I nothing more I can really ask out of them. Lovett Armstrong will take it here for Armstrong as he spins out near the 30-yard line before he is knocked out of bounds. You got to think he's got a leg up on being in the lineup when his last name's Armstrong, right?
It looked good on the back of the jersey had the names been there, but we'll see how Armstrong's offense responds now. I think White Bear Lake kind of set the tone with that pace that they had in the opening drive. Now White Bear Lake thinks they have a pretty physical team against the run here, and we'll see what happens when the two teams meet right now with Armstrong's offense taking the field for the first time.
Collis Barber, the cousin of Thomas Barber, is the quarterback. Nate Olkey is the single back. He takes the handoff here, and Olkey wrapped up and knocked down after a short pickup there. First guy in to get a big piece of him was Colin Zellner, one of the defensive ends for the Bears.
As a team, Armstrong's just not getting enough done on the ground. No rushing touchdowns on the year, only averaging 3.5 yards per carry as a team as well. Looking to improve on that number.
2nd down and 8. They'll go back to the ground. Olkey fighting his way forward, brought down by Matt LeMay for White Bear. He'll be short of the first down, but only by about 3 yards. And they'll call it 3rd and 2 actually officially as Barber checks into the backfield. And Barber is indeed going to get the carry, and he'll have the first down. He's kind of a beast running the football, and he will pick it up. So this is kind of how they hope to use him in key spots. LeMay on the stop.
Well, you know, they bring in a H-back there too, Deontay Sadler. You see him get a great block, 89, and he leads the way for Barber. When he kicked out that outside linebacker, he kind of took out a safety as well who's got stuck behind there. So he picked up 2 players with 1 block. That opened up the hole for Barber, and Barber did the rest with his bullish running style.
From the 46, first down. Collis Barber keeping, and he is tripped up. Nice tackle. I thought he had some room to get at least to the corner there, but Kevin May gets in on the ankles here and is able to bring him down. See, it looks like briefly that he's got enough to get around him there, but didn't happen. No gain.
That was certainly a big tackle there by May. That was at least a pickup of 5-6 yards. Looked like he was getting pretty good blocking from his receivers downfield.
So a 2nd down and 10 play now for the Falcons. Olkey takes the handoff, wrapped up. They're trying to dig that ball free. Luke Maltz, one of those in on the stop there. And a short pickup, I'll give him about 3. So 3rd down and 7 coming for Armstrong here. A little over 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. White Bear Lake leading at 3-0. Field goal on their opening drive, and we're going to get an offside call against the defense here. Won't be enough to give them the first down, but it'll sure make it a lot closer.
Oh, it's definitely going to change up the play calling. They're going to go they were out of the shotgun. Now they're going to bring Barber into the game and bring his blocking back in there as well. Deontay Sadler is going to check back in as well.
So now 3rd and a couple here for the Falcons. They're going to go to Barber. Barber fighting forward, and he's going to be real close. They stacked him up right about the stick. Be close to see where they mark this.
It's first down.
Yeah, it looks like he's probably going to have it by maybe the nose of the football, but they are going to bring the chains in. You see Barber's got a guy down on his leg trying to drag Kevin May with him there. And you give May some credit for being willing to throw his body in there, but Barber will pick up the first down. So Armstrong picking up a couple of key first downs. They'll have it 1st and 10 from the White Bear Lake 44-yard line on their opening possession of the night. Trying to answer White Bear's early field goal. Barber looking to the bench, and now looking to throw it out to the left, tipped and incomplete as it got off the fingertips of True Thompson there.
Thompson lets that one slip through his hands. One that he wishes he could have back. He got a nice little cushion from his cornerback out there, and that was an easy pickup of at least 4 yards, not to mention what he was going to have after the catch. And I think it was perhaps after the catch that he was thinking about. Just didn't allow him to make that reception.
Good news, though, for Armstrong is that ball bounced out of bounds instead of up in the air where they had a chance to get it. Handoff goes to Thomas Barber, bounces it. Now Barber into the secondary, keeps on rumbling down inside the 20 to about the 18. But a 27-yard pickup right there for Mr. Barber.
I see Barber quickly checks out after this run, and I mean, I think you got a horse. I think you got to ride this horse. I mean, he is just a beast. He did a good job. That ball was supposed to go up the middle. He realized there was nothing there. Look at this. It ain't there. Pops it out to the outside, quick enough to get there and strong enough to break some tackles once he gets there.
First down from the 17. Olkey takes the handoff, and nice job defeating his block there. Justin Baker coming up with the stop for White Bear Lake. Be about a short loss on that play.
That's where, as a coach, you are just irate, because if that kick-out block happens on the pulling guard there with that backer who came around, Baker makes a great play, but if that block happens, that's a big pickup right there. The rest of the line blocked very well.
Second and 11 now. Barber looking to throw over the middle and incomplete as he was dumped as he was throwing. Zellner got there.
And, you know, Armstrong's lucky that ball was poorly thrown, because if it had been well thrown, it would have been an interception. The linebacker really keyed in on that slant across the middle. So it became one-on-one coverage, really turned into double coverage as that linebacker read where that ball was going.
So third and long here for Armstrong as they look to the bench for the play call. Jason Potts, the new offensive coordinator, and start at here at Armstrong and then at Augsburg as a running back. Going to toss it back and looking to throw it here downfield, and did he get it? No, just out of bounds is Trey Tate. Very close, but didn't get the foot in as Dexter Betts threw it. Great catch. Not a lot of room to work with there. Betts, a pretty decent throw. Yeah, it looks like that foot did end up on the sideline. Of course, you only need one in high school. The question is, did he get the other one, and did he tap down first? Ooh, he might have. There was no doubt the second one landed on the line.
Yeah, I think he got the first one first, Jay. I mean, not that you expect the referee to see that, but.
So they go for it on fourth down. The pass is caught. Betts breaks a tackle. Betts then loses the ball late. He'll have a first and goal if they can keep possession, and Armstrong did get it back, it looks like. And so Betts coming up with a big play right there for Armstrong. It'll be first and goal from about the 4-yard line, gain of 14.
When Betts makes this initial catch, it's very close to not being a first down, but his run after the catch gets him to the first down marker and then some, and nearly found his way into the end zone.
And you see the ball was clearly out, but he got it back right away.
Looked like the defensive back who was covering him on the coverage went for the pass breakup rather than the tackle before the sticks.
They bring Thomas Barber in. They're going to throw the fade instead for True Thompson. Penalty flag is down. A lot of hands there defensively, and I got to believe this one is going to go against the defensive back. Going to be a defensive hold against White Bear. So it'll be half the distance here.
Trying to use the height of the 6'4" Thompson on the outside there on the fade. And you can see the defensive back right off the bat grabs a hold. Right here, he's all over him. Does not try to make a play on the football.
Liam Kerrigan-Crodel whistled there. So now they get it first and goal at the 2, and you got to think there's a reasonable chance 44 might get it here.
No rushing touchdowns on the year, though, for Armstrong so far.
They're going to go to Barber, and a lot of penetration, and they got knocked back into him. That one didn't have much of an opportunity right from the get-go, and they will lose about 3 on the play. Ouch.
You talk about that lack of confidence. Because you've only scored 2 touchdowns all season and haven't put the ball in the end zone on the run, and you gotta just wonder what goes through the minds of these Armstrong kids up front in this situation here, not having the confidence to plunge it in.
Jack Nagan told us that they were inside the 25 times last week against Blaine and did not score.
Yeah, it should be just a matter of finishing off business once you get down to the 2-yard line, but you can see right now it just looks like a different unit.
Second and goal from about the 6 now for Armstrong after that loss. Handoff goes to Barber, and he is going to walk on in for the touchdown. They stay with the ground even after the previous one got mucked up. And Thomas Barber will bring it on in for the score for the Falcons.
Well, we talked about that junior class. Barber's the junior that puts it in the end zone. The quarterback, the junior that hands it off. But offensive line as well. Joseph Briscoe Adams. Check out the big guy in the kickoff block here. You'll see him pulling across. He gets a great block for the Falcons. That allows Barber to get up inside of there in the defense. And the Falcons take a lead here on homecoming night.
Extra point try is blocked. A lot of penetration there, so Nathan Bell's kick is blocked, but Armstrong pumped up. They finish off a drive. Boy, that fourth down completion to Betts and the run after it was huge. Obviously, the 27-yard run by Thomas Barber helped that drive along quite a bit too.
Yeah, and you know, defensive penalties playing a role in both scores so far too, with Armstrong to get a first down on that offsides encroachment penalty, but they did get a much easier third down to navigate and really capitalized on a couple of mistakes that White Bear Lake made, and you know, punching in on third down and then, you know, keeping that drive alive on fourth down. There was a couple of big key plays that are really going to help build the confidence of this Falcons team.
So each team getting points on its first possession. Armstrong's was a touchdown, White Bear Lake's a field goal. Smith will kick off here for the Falcons. And again, a low liner, a little bit of confusion on who's going to take it. Picked up at the 20. And some room to the outside. Nice job sidestepping a tackler there by Breaks. And then he is brought down out near the 45-yard line. So good return, all things considered. After I can see why he didn't, the up man looked like he was going to play it and then backed away at the last second. But all things considered, it worked out pretty well.
Looked to me like half the problem there was Armstrong just didn't get down the field very quickly there, and it just allowed the returning man to have a little bit too much time when he finally scooped the ball up.
On the 45-yard line, 1st and 10, White Bear Lake. Right up the middle it goes, and nice tackle by Barber to get a piece of him, or that one would have went, but we do have a flag down.
Yeah, I think you have a hold. Yep. Must have been an obvious one right off the bat. It came really early on in that play.
So it'll be a loss of about 11 on that holding call against White Bear Lake. A shame on their sake because they had a pretty big hole, but maybe that was part of the reason. They're going to go right back to the ground. Ball's loose. Big scramble. White Bear Lake was there first, although they were certainly outnumbered. And looks like it's going to be Bears football.
It was Thomas Barber who knocked this ball out. He wasn't going to get enough hit on the running back to actually make the tackle, but you see him right here get just enough of hand on the football. It knocks it out. Look at the Falcons around the ball. They just can't quite get on top of it.
Back to the ground. This time carrying it is Anderson for the Bears. He will pick up about 3, maybe 4 on that one. So we got a 3rd down and 8 coming up here for the Bears. Kahn looking out to his left, now throwing over the middle and too high and incomplete. Jake Olson the target, but he could see it was well over his head, and he was thinking about that he was going to get blasted a little bit here too, and he just got hit just a little bit. Good job, I think, to pull up and not do anything that might even be a hint of a penalty there, because it was obviously going to be an incompletion.
Yeah, it was Clark on the covers there and did a good job of not making any early contact, saw the ball that was poorly thrown, and Armstrong gets off the field.
Armstrong drifting back. Ooh, and he elects not to play it, and White Bear might be able to down it way down inside the 5.
Oh, that's got to be a touchback. The guy.
Yeah, it looks like, well, I don't know. He's still marking it down inside the 1.
Yeah, watch the White Bear Lake player. I mean, he's crawling around in the end zone when he touches the football.
Rolls back.
I mean, he touches it while he's at the end zone. Bizarre call there. I mean, it seemed pretty obvious. Guy was crawling in the end zone there. Nice play by Liam Kerrigan-Crodel, but
They're going to spot it at the 1,
Wow.
or inside, actually. Well, now is where ball handling and ball security becomes a big deal, obviously, for Armstrong. I think Jack Negan might be asking the same thing. At least get together and see if anybody saw something different there.
yeah, I mean, yeah, clearly the official that made the call was watching, in his mind he was watching one thing, but he's got...
No indication that they plan to change it, though. They are at least going to give the courtesy of explaining it to Jack, but I don't think he agrees.
First of all, Coach Nagel's got to be confused to why his player didn't. Bowman had a chance to handle that.
See,
He's not Lovett Armstrong, rather.
he clearly hadn't downed it initially. I mean, he made contact with it, but he hadn't,
It is what it is now. Armstrong's got to buckle up, get physical up front.
They will have Thomas Barber in the backfield behind Collis Barber. Fakes the handoff. Quarterback Barber will keep it. Gets to the edge, and a lot of running, but not a lot of gain. He'll get a couple.
Here's Collis Barber right here. A little bit too much east and west. Right here, he's got to get upfield. There's no reason for a cutback there. He could have plunged upfield for about 1 more yard, get out of bounds, secure the football, get back to the line of scrimmage for another play, but he just a little bit too much cutting back if you're the quarterback in that situation.
2nd and 7, down to about 10 seconds to go. This might be the last play of the quarter, or they may not even snap it before the quarter break here. And starting to look like they probably will not. So we have reached the end of our first quarter. Pretty entertaining first quarter of football as well. Our score after 1 is Armstrong 6, White Bear Lake 3. More football to come here on 12 Sports.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
The great outside.
We both love the outdoors.
It's so shiny.
That's not a flower. We both love geology.
Oh, look. An igneous one.
That's not a rock. And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
That's not a dog. Hanging out has been kind of fun.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Sun sets now, and the lights taking full effect as we go into quarter number 2 here. 2nd down and 7 coming up for Armstrong as we change ends. Falcons leading White Bear Lake 6-3. Again, Armstrong, if you're just joining us, looking for their first win of the year after an 0-3 start. Play action pass is behind Thompson and incomplete. Looked like they had him there, but Barber a little bit wide of him with the throw here. Had to reach back a long way, and it actually brought his hands right back into the defensive back there.
Right play call right there by the coaching staff. Just the execution out there. That would have got them out some breathing room and a first down.
So 3rd and long. Barber back into the end zone, throwing it again. Pass complete to Betts, and he's going to go. They give chase, but they are not going to catch Betts. 93 yards and no flags. Touchdown, Falcons. How do you like that?
Well, it's kind of fun because we're up here in the booth. We have a no door between us and the Armstrong coaching staff, and you can hear the coaches up here, the assistants, saying the slant is there repeatedly during one of the breaks. And it's a good job, the coaching staff working together. They saw something up here. They saw the slant was there. Betts catches it in stride. The safety who came up to make a play just lost his footing, didn't finish the play, and Betts is off to the races.
It's not all that often that by the 50-yard line you can confidently say he's gone, but he had such a start once they overran him there that at best they were keeping ground with him. Nobody was burrowing in on him. So rain starting to pour down too right during that play. Timeout taken by Armstrong. It looks like they'll probably go for 2 here after having the first extra point block, but just want to get on the same page and get everything figured out with the call. But oh boy, an electrifying play. You're thinking like, okay, they're in trouble here. They're throwing out of their end zone, you know, trying to avoid having to punt out of their end zone, and then instead they get that.
And Jay, you know, the previous passing play that was underthrown or thrown behind the receiver was there too, and Barber was in the backfield for both those plays. You got to imagine that when Barber's in the backfield, that gives the safety a lot to think about as he has to come up and provide that run support. And let's face it, you know, the people have often joked about how safeties and defensive backs don't like tackling certain running backs. I'm guessing Barber falls into that criteria. He's one of those guys that I think the safety would rather have step out of bounds.
Joe, I would hide behind you if Thomas Barber was running at me. I know that. Even the Armstrong coaches talked about that in preseason practice. And he said sometimes guys going up against him were just kind of being manhandled a little bit, and they'd say, "Coach, I thought I was in position, but it just didn't work." And they have to say, I know.
This is not good for Armstrong. They come out of a timeout, and there's confusion on the field. At this point, you almost just have to take the delay of game and not use another timeout.
See if they get back and can get it snapped. 2-point conversion try here. Fake the handoff, and Collis Barber is blasted. And the play comes to an end. So conversion try fails here as we've got a nice downpour going on here early in the second quarter.
And really bad news for Armstrong is you got an injured Collis Barber being helped off the field. He's trying to put some weight on that foot now, but he got no protection up there from the left side of the offensive line, and there was way too much penetration in a hurry.
But when you have play action and you're hit before you even really finish completing the fake, that spells trouble for that play.
(12-3). If you didn't know better, you'd think it's a field goal battle.
Smith kicking off, and this one's going to go out of bounds. So White Bear will get good field position here. So illegal kickoff out of bounds, and White Bear will get it on the 35-yard line. Let's go down to Lindsay.
Good news for Armstrong fans. Collis Barber was just examined by the training staff on the sideline. It sounds like it's just a Charlie horse, so the way he was walking off, it looked like it may be an ankle injury, but it sounds like he is A-okay now and should be back in the game when they take over on offense.
Thanks very much, Lindsay, and Armstrong obviously hoping that Collis will be able to come back. They go to the sweep, and Breaks takes a handoff, and Thomas Barber wraps him up and throws him down. Very short gain, if any, maybe about a half yard it looks like with forward progress.
Armstrong's defense that time doing a good job of stretching it out. Chance Bowen took on a couple of blockers himself. Didn't get in on the tackle, but slowed the play down and let the Falcons get there.
Handoff going up the middle. Scogan will pick up decent gainer there of about 5.
Bowen again makes the tackle. He's playing very good from that defensive end spot for Falcons tonight.
Kahn giving it off on the ground again, and it's going to be enough for the first down. into Falcons territory. They picked the ball up late, but official says it was already down. So Scogan will pick it up. You see he ends up without the ball at the end. It was hard to see though, and he's right away indicating he's down, of course. And so from the 47, back to the ground they go. About a 4-yard gainer that time for Scogan.
They're finding pretty good running lanes right up the middle in those 2 A gaps. Of course, within that 3-4 defense, linebackers backed at the line of scrimmage. They're getting pretty good push up front.
Gonna stick with the ground, and this time nothing doing. Stacked up, driven back there by Bowen.
Well, we've been calling Bowen's name a lot, and that time they just didn't kind of pick him up in that blocking scheme. I'm not sure what happened there from an offensive standpoint for the Bears, but fortunately for the Falcons, Bowen's there, and he's been pretty sure tackler tonight for Armstrong and did so on that play.
So 3rd and about 7 here for White Bear. Keep it on the ground, and that one doesn't go too far either. A couple yard gain, but Anderson not nearly enough, but in a spot where they could certainly give strong consideration to going for it here, and I think they will. 4th down and 6 for White Bear Lake. And they're definitely going for it. Kahn looking to throw it out in the flat. Pass complete. Nice move by Anderson, and that'll be enough to get him the first down. If they had dropped him in his tracks where he caught it, it would have been close, but he just a little move to the left got him enough space for the first down.
Saw Barber there flying by. Thomas Barber was there to make the play and just kind of didn't break down and make that tackle. He was in a hurry to get there before that first down marker, and nice little cutback move gets the first down like you mentioned.
Ground game again here for White Bear Lake, and Barber and Bowen there in on the stop again for Armstrong.
Sam Enderline, the nose tackle, did a good job of blowing that play up there, allowing the rest of the Falcons to close in. Nose tackle got good penetration, and that's what you need from that 3-4 defense.
Kahn looking to throw, and juggled and dropped. He had breaks coming. Pretty good throw, and just took his eye off it a little bit.
Right play call there by White Bear Lake, though. They had Barber coming on a blitz. They picked him up nicely. The slant across the middle was open with one linebacker having blitzed. Just quite execute.
3rd and long now for the Bears. Kahn getting pretty good protection, and incomplete. Weren't quite on the same page on that route as he threw to the outside shoulder. And
not a good throw by Kahn there. He's been a little bit more accurate on the short passing. That's the first time we've seen him really go up over the top. And Coach Bartlett right now in go-for-it mode again on 4th down.
yeah, you're in a spot here where punting may very well not gain you all that much anyway.
Unless you put it down at the 1-yard line again.
Well, yeah, that's true. If they could guarantee that, they might think about it.
But then they gave up a 93-yarder, so.
Here's Kahn. Pressure coming late, and they get him. Sack recorded as Hegem gets there.
Well, Hagan came on a blitz there, and he was initially picked up by Dominic Rulli for White Bear Lake, but he just stuck with it. He didn't stay blocked. You got to keep on fighting through. Did a little rip move there to the inside and got through, and he was an undersized middle linebacker, but you can see the tenacity right there of the 5'11", 165-pound middle linebacker to make that big play.
So Barber is indeed back in at quarterback. First down from the 42 after a big stop, and he's going to throw on first down. Slings it out to Thompson, and his knee hit down after about a 2-yard gainer there. So he nearly eluded the tackle there, but it resulted in his knees just brushing the ground here.
You know, this play right here picks up 2 yards, and if you're Armstrong, of course you want more, but what it's going to do is it's going to set up something up over the top. You saw how tightly White Bear Lake played that little pass right there. They're going to really play tight coverage on the outside. There's going to be something over the top soon.
Handoff. Olkey takes it. And a strong tackle as he is dropped in his tracks there. Pickup of about 5, maybe 6.
Sorry about that, Jay. The offensive line, though, nice initial surge at the first level. He got all the way to the second level of the linebacker tier there before he was hit. As you said, it was a great tackle by Baker in the open field there, but nice job by the offensive line to win the battle up front.
From the 48, handoff Olkey, and he is wrapped up. Gonna lose a little bit on that play, and Armstrong now quite likely forced into a punting situation here.
I don't think Armstrong really played the percentages there. The passing game had been kind of good in the previous drive at picking up big plays, and then, of course, Thomas Barber on the running game, and that time they went away from what has been effective so far in this game.
Bowen on to punt. Gets away a good kick. Fielded at the 18 and not much on the return. As stumbling forward a little bit there was Whalen.
You see Armstrong, kind of a nice special teams player for Armstrong. He returns punts and kicks and gets down there to cover that one. Doesn't make the tackle, makes him cut it back, but Ball finishes it off for the Falcons. Good coverage downfield. Much improved from what we saw earlier on the kickoff team.
They'll go from the 19, 1st and 10 here for White Bear Lake. Had a bit of a drive going last time, but it sputtered. And a handoff again. Oh, and a nice gap out over the 35 there for Scogan for the Bears.
Well, you see this one right from the get-go. They double-team the nose tackle. They blow him out of the hole, and they come up through there and blow the linebacker on that side, Hagen, out of the hole as well. And just a big opening for the Bears.
Back to the ground. Oh, my. Barber got there and lowered the boom on Scogan. Wow.
And he had he was the beneficiary there of Scogan seeing him come. He sees him sitting in the hole, tries to cut away, and Barber's not letting him get away. Excellent play.
2nd and 11, and he's got Lockwood, or check that, not Lockwood, 81 rather than 1 there is Olson with the grab. And the ball comes loose. And looks like the Bears are going to get back on that one. I think the handoff was clean, but then coughed up.
Yeah, Enderline pokes it out. Watch the nose tackle, 94. Shoots through it. He kind of, just with his little right hand there as he was fighting away from a block, kind of got a little punch in the football.
Be a 3-yard loss. Kahn dropping to throw over the middle. This time it is Lockwood, and he's got the catch. He'll have the first down, but brought down there.
Gotta like this throw from the quarterback for White Bear Lake. He just steps back, Kahn, and just delivers a strike across the middle. Didn't put too much on it. Earlier in the game, he was maybe kind of trying to really heat it in there, and he was overthrowing and underthrowing.
Anderson with it up the middle. I was going to say, now the rain has started to come down harder again. I was going to say, I was a little surprised that White Bear was running it as much as they are, but then when you think about just the tone of the game and the fact that you've gone to your 3rd quarterback already this year, and Coach Bartlett said, you know, Kahn is a guy who did play quarterback as a freshman and sophomore, so he's not brand new to the position or anything, but still, you know, you try and get something established and throw off it. There's a look at the rain. I have to admit, I was kind of thinking we might skate through and not have this tonight, but not quite the case.
It's really bizarre, though, because it's almost like it's kind of a warmer, muggier night. It's really not bothering the fans so far. A couple people with umbrellas out, but I don't know if this seems weird at all, but the fans right in front of us are not really getting wet, but it looks wet on the field. But, I think right now it's a nicely timed timeout for Armstrong because White Bear Lake's offense was really picking up the momentum and starting to win the battle up front. And they were finding that slant across the middle, and Armstrong's defense trying to get together and see if they can't get a stop here. Of course, we've seen the ball hit the turf a couple of times. Ball security becomes even more important when you see your first rainfall of the year.
And there it goes. Kahn loses it. He escapes the first guy, but too many red shirts coming, and the best he can do is get back to about the original line of scrimmage around the 40, so a loss of 7 or so.
Yeah, you wonder that ball poorly snapped a little bit high for Kahn, and Kahn does a good job of recovering. You can tell he's a pretty good athlete the way he responded to that football, got after and tried to get upfield a little bit.
So 3rd down and 10 now for the Bears. And they'll go to the ground with Anderson, and he leans forward for 3, maybe 4 at the most. And they'll bring up another 4th down situation here.
And they're all committed. They're going to go for it. They knew that when handing the ball off there on 3rd down, try to get some yardage and chunk into this 4th down opportunity.
Going to go quickly. Kahn looking to throw. Now pulls it back. Stiff arms a tackler. Still in some trouble. Throws on the run and broken up. Incomplete. Nice job closing to make the play there for the Falcons.
Jack Leas. Leas comes in here and just gets a good read on where the football is going and breaks on it and makes an excellent play.
So Armstrong will get the football on downs. It looked like for a moment that was going to be complete, but he timed it just right. And the fact that he went for the ball, I think, gives you're more likely to get the benefit of the doubt, even if there's a little bit of contact. The fact that he really went hard to get to the football.
Well, it looks better when you're coming from a distance and trying to time it out rather than being all over from the get-go too. And it looked like Leas did a really good job. Leas did a good job just hustling to get there. You get rewarded for that kind of effort.
From the 36, Armstrong football. Olkey takes the handoff, and just a couple yard pickup. Still a lot of time left for Armstrong, but I have the feeling they may try and, kind of establish this drive a little bit before they get too carried away with trying to get it up the field in a hurry. They do have the lead. I mean, yes, you do want more points, but they're also, I think, conscious of making sure they take care of things time-wise here and don't give the ball back to White Bear. Barber looking to throw out to his right now, throwing over the middle and incomplete.
Well, I gotta tell you, you gotta like what you've seen out of Barber only in his second and a half game they said ever playing quarterback, and he wants to throw this little hook to his out wide receiver, True Thompson. That's where the ball was gonna go, and that's where he was gonna go all along. It wasn't there. He pulled it down, looked downfield, found another receiver. Didn't make the best throw in the world, but his decision making right there possibly could have avoided a pick six situation.
So 3rd down and 8 now for Armstrong. Looking to throw, Betts juggles and incomplete, and he got rocked, and he is not getting up.
And these are one of those plays that are being called a penalty in the NFL now. Agree with it or not, it is a defenseless wide receiver here as he's trying to make a play on the football. I like this kind of defensive play. I like the hit being able to happen, but unfortunately what it means is he is exposed right there, and he took a big hit, no question about it. But that's,
Don't get me started, Joe, because I would say if that's a penalty, there's no reason to have football anymore.
No, I'm on your side on
No,
that.
I know,
I'm on your
I
side,
know.
but that right there is being called a penalty right now at the NFL. I don't agree with it. I think that's playing defense.
Yeah. especially when the ball's still right there. You're breaking up a play. There's the kick and juggled. Oh, getting back on in a hurry, and there was a good solid hit delivered the other way too, and that one could have been big trouble for White Bear Lake.
I think White Bear Lake has put the ball on the turf 4 times now and recovered all 4 of them. Just incredible. Eventually they're not going to get one of these friendly bounces, but nice hustle downfield making that tackle. Seen Nathan Ball a couple of times on this punt team make some nice tackles downfield.
So the Bears do get the ball back, 2:47 to go. And they'll have it at their 26. Kahn's going to hand it off. And not a bad gainer on that first down carry there. About a 9-yard pickup there. And fakes the handoff. Kahn will keep it, and he is wrapped up and thrown down. Solid job defensively there by Smith for the Falcons.
Troy Smith, as you mentioned, just excellent job reading the quarterback, stayed with him the entire time, and then brought him down. Still a first down for the Bears, but a nice play defensively by Smith.
Boy, just at first glance, I would have thought he did not really get forward at all, but he got enough. There's Kahn throwing, complete over the middle, breaks. Trying to get through a couple of tacklers, and then he is brought down on a leg tackle there, but inside Armstrong territory to the 44. About a 20-yard pickup.
Right now, White Bear Lake is finding a soft spot in the defense in that middle. The middle linebackers for Armstrong so committed to stopping the run. There's a nice little pocket there where they throw the ball up over the top of him on that slant.
And up the middle, and Scogan once again saw Barber coming and tried to put the brakes on. He'll get a couple.
You'd say that White Bear Lake has to go into hurry-up mode, but that's kind of their entire offense anyways.
Well, and that's a nice thing when you get to the end of a half like this. Kahn keeping it, and he's not going to go anywhere. Wrapped up by Smith around the ankle, and then he got some help.
Smith both times from that outside position, keeping his responsibility. He has no responsibility for that fake handoff. He's watching the quarterback the entire time and played it perfectly.
3rd and 8. Kahn sidesteps a rusher, throws into traffic, and the catch made, and this might have been some head-on-head contact there, accidental. Armstrong guy getting up a little slow. It's going to be just short of the first down. Lockwood made the catch, 4th down and a yard. We're late in the half now. 43 seconds to go, and White Bear is going to use a timeout. So Ryan Bartlett will bring his guys over.
Well, big play upcoming here. You know, I think White Bear Lake has been able to get pretty good yardage up the middle, but when they've been most successful up the middle has been in a 4th down and 1 situation. They've been getting good yards up the middle on 1st down and 10 on more of kind of a sprint draw-like play. They haven't had the situation where they need 1 yard, need to get kind of big and pick it up. And I think Coach Bartlett talked before this game to us and kind of indicated that we got to be physical up front. That's what will decide this game. And here comes one of those plays that's going to determine that.
Rain starting to fall again here as the first half nears an end. Homecoming tonight, as we said, for Armstrong, so some little extra halftime festivities here. So here we go, 4th down and a yard for White Bear Lake as they try and continue this drive late in the first half, trailing at 12-3. Lockwood coming in to get the Play call relayed to him. Now Kahn looking to set up a screen, flips a pass, it's complete. They'll have the first down and more. Olsen on the catch down inside the 30.
Well, you gotta love the play call by Bartlett if you're a White Bear Lake fan. He knows that they're gonna be coming really hard up the middle. The offensive line is opened up. Let the penetration come.
Kahn throwing, and Barber with a diving interception for the Falcons. Armstrong football, great hands by Barber as he picks it off.
Well, they've been picking on his slot there on the slant play because he's been playing so aggressive against the run. Barber wised up a little bit, took a couple steps back, gets into the pass lane, and makes an excellent play.
That's a heck of a catch. Got his body turned just enough so that the hitting the ground wouldn't jar it out, but that's a dynamite catch.
Well, and you saw the read too. I mean, he looked right off the bat. He was playing that slant. He thought the slant was coming his way. It actually ended up coming from the opposite side, but his eyes from the receiver then to the quarterback took him to that football, and then he's got the athleticism and the hands to make the interception. That's a big time football play.
Armstrong not going to take any chances. They kneel down here and will kill the clock and go to halftime with a lead. Thanks in part to that late interception there by Thomas Barber. So the Falcons losing their first two games by big margins. Last week, pretty close against Blaine and looking pretty good so far in this first half. They lead White Bear Lake by a score of 12-3 as we reach halftime, and Barber getting some congrats here from his teammates there after that late pick, and they've certainly done some things well in this opening half. Of course, now you have to remember that there's still another 2 quarters to go here. You want to be excited about it, but have to also keep in mind that there's a lot of football left to play.
And that's what happens to sometimes teams that aren't in this situation all the time. You know, you got a team that hasn't won a game in over a full football season. Now they got a lead here at halftime. How do they come to halftime here and kind of come back ready for the second half of football when they really haven't been in this situation? We'll see that kind of this team grow right before us here tonight.
You like to at least be in the position where you get to find out how you play with the lead too, and that's the case obviously for the Falcons here this evening. Let's go down now to Lindsay with Coach Bartlett.
Thanks so much, guys. Now, Coach, a lot of football left to play. What is going to be the first thing that you're going to stress to your guys when you get in the locker room?
Stop making mistakes. Tons of mistakes, and that's why it's 12-3. So correct mistakes, we'll get back in the game and be fine, but we got a lot of mistakes right now.
Let's go back to that opening drive of the game. You guys were able to capitalize on the illegal substitution by Armstrong and get the field goal up. It was Anthony Vang's first of the year. Walk us through that. That had to have been some good momentum for you.
Yeah, it was, and then we just kind of sputtered a little bit. So, I mean, it was a good start, but then we didn't back it up defensively very good, and then we give up another big play, and then offensively we drive the ball down and shoot ourselves in the foot. So, I mean, we just got to continue. We did that first drive and just finish the drive, and we'll be fine.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. All right, lots of football left, like we said, but I think there's going to be some strong words for White Bear Lake when Coach Bartlett gets in the locker room. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Lindsay. He's a very mild-mannered guy, but I think it was apparent he wasn't too happy with what he saw from his team in that first half. But we appreciate him taking the time to talk with us as well. We'll be back with some halftime festivities and more here. Prep football from Armstrong High School. Homecoming 2014. The Falcons leading White Bear Lake 12-3.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And shelter pets make super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
And welcome back to Armstrong High School. They've just introduced the royalty here, and there is a look. Dexter Betts. Coach Negan said, I don't think we're going to let him come out here and be king at halftime, but I guess there was a change of plans. As it's only going to happen once, so they can spare him for a few minutes there. And Kimmy Edelstead, the queen, and the Falcons marching band now making its way onto the field. Much to their dismay, the rain is falling, but they're going to plow on through and give a good show, and here they are. Welcome back to Armstrong High School. It's homecoming for 2014 at Armstrong, and so far so good on the scoreboard. 12-3 lead for the Falcons against White Bear Lake, and we hope you enjoyed the Falcons band. Dance team getting set to take the field next year and entertain the crowd a little bit. As always good to see some alumni coming back too, and there are definitely a lot of students here tonight. Still pretty early in the school year, and I know a lot of athletic directors and coaches and principals talk about how sometimes having a little success in football, or at least getting people out and having a fun night, kind of sets the tone for the school year a little bit. You get some kids having a good time, and they'll come back to not only this but some of the other extracurricular type things too. And that's what they're hoping to see, a continued good performance tonight. And as you can see, the dance team now in position and ready to go. Great performance here by the Falcons dance team here as we are at halftime, and Armstrong leading White Bear Lake 12-3. And let's check out some first half highlights from this one, and definitely some big plays. We were not lacking for explosive plays here early on. Nice run here by Scogan for White Bear, and just tripped up as he's into the secondary there. And then they end up getting a field goal from Bang. That was on their first drive of the game after an Armstrong penalty had given them new life. Armstrong coming right back. Barber bounces it to the outside. Thomas Barber, that is. Rumbles 27 yards. And it helps to set them up for this opportunity. Betts throwing. Very close call here. Ruled out of bounds on the catch. And incomplete was Trey Tate. But no matter, they end up getting the touchdown anyway as Barber goes in from 6 yards out. And Armstrong had the extra point block. It was 6-3. And then a big one right here to Betts. And slips past the safety, and then he is gone. 93-yard touchdown for the homecoming king, Dexter Betts. And Armstrong again missing the conversion. They go up 12-3. White Bear Lake marching back the other way as they get to completion there. And then very late in the half, a great diving interception by Barber ends the drive, and then the Falcons ran out the half. You look at the stats, a little bit skewed. White Bear Lake actually has a slight edge overall in yardage, but as Coach Bartlett said, shooting themselves in the foot just a little bit here. So 4 penalties for the Bears and 22 yards and 2 for 10 against the Falcons.
Got him.
And so Jack Negan making his way over, and he is joining Lindsay right now. Let's go down to talk to the Armstrong coach.
Thanks so much, guys. Now, Coach Negan, a big first half for you guys, 12 points, a dominant performance by your offense. What were some of the thoughts that were thrown around in the locker room?
Well, we're playing well. We just talked to our kids. They haven't been in this spot a lot. This is the first year, and so things are new. And so we're just talking about, we played a great first half, but it's a 48-minute game, so we've got to play the whole game.
A big performance from Thomas Barber and then from Dexter Betts, your homecoming king. How was that 93-yard run there for you?
No, it's something that we've been working on this week, a little play we put in, and we try to get him the ball, get it out quick and get him a little space, and they're not going to catch him when he gets it.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Back up to you guys.
Thanks very much, Lindsay, and the team's completing their warm-ups here, and definitely some rain coming down, and there's been some talk about have we not seen lightning. I don't see any indication that that they're pulling the teams off just yet, but maybe we are going to see that signal now. Yes, yes, they are sending everyone off because of lightning. We'll take a break and hopefully come back with more football for you here on 12 Sports.
Watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Welcome back here to Armstrong High School. Unfortunately, the weather is not cooperating right now, and we're going to have at least a 30-minute delay because of lightning. The teams have been sent back to the school, and they're clearing the stands as well. So we are going to go to some regular programming and come back with football when we can here from Armstrong High School. But the a weather delay of at least 30 minutes because of lightning here around the field here in Plymouth. Stay with us for more football later on, but we're going to head back now to the studio for regular programming.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
And welcome back here to Armstrong High School. Along with Joe Molina and Lindsey Gensel, I'm Jay Wilcox. We have had about a half-hour lightning delay here in our homecoming game for Armstrong for 2014. We'll recap: the Falcons leading at 12-3. We did not begin the second half. The teams had just come out to warm up for the second half when there was some lightning in the area, and quite a bit of it, so they were sent back into the school and the bleachers cleared out, but apparently the officials and athletic directors from both schools were down meeting on the field and apparently looking at radar, figuring that things were going to be good to go here. Joe, it's going to be kind of interesting just to see how much momentum this changes or what it changes. It's kind of almost like starting the game over in some ways.
Yeah, it seems like a long time ago since we saw the White Bear Lake throw an interception, not deep in Armstrong territory, but definitely driving and in Armstrong territory. And Armstrong seemed to gain some momentum and a lot of excitement as they entered halftime, but obviously this long delay, and Armstrong and White Bear Lake both coming out here. The Bears, pretty disgusted with the way they finished the half. And Armstrong got to be pretty excited leading for the first time this year at halftime. We'll see how the two teams respond after this longer than usual delay.
I think the one thing you can say is it's obviously the same for both teams. You can't really claim an advantage. I mean, I think they both got to go back into school, even though it's Armstrong's school and everything. They were both returned to the locker room for the same amount of time. Armstrong, you could on the one hand say losing momentum. On the other hand, though, that they got a pretty good rest period, and one of their coaches up here in the booth was saying to us that we don't have all that much depth. We have some guys playing both ways, so a little extra break may not necessarily be a bad thing overall for their team too.
Yeah, I would think for the guys going playing both ways and playing more time and maybe eating up some of the hits and contributing a little bit more effort in that first half, I think that long break would really be nice.
So they're warming up for half number 2. As you saw the game summary there, we will return with our second half of football. Looks like we should be good to go weather-wise here. 12-3 Falcons. We'll be right back here on 12 Sports.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And shelter pets make super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
The guys have completed warming up, and we are set to begin half number 2, a warm, muggy evening. And again, if you're just joining us, we had a half-hour lightning delay that has just been completed. Fortunately, it didn't go beyond that. I think if you start getting, a whole lot longer than that, then talk starts to be, do we continue playing tonight or do we go another night? We were talking how at a few of the games, I don't remember exactly which week of the season last year, but there was some games that did end up getting postponed and finished later. And in fact, the other Robbinsdale District School, Cooper, had that happen. So not going to be the case here, though. It looks like for right now, Armstrong will receive the football to begin half number 2. Trying to get their first victory here of the 2014 season. Trying to get the first victory for Jack Nagan as head coach, but awful lot of ball to go. Where the big plays really seem to go Armstrong's way. Looking at the whole half as a whole, I don't know that they necessarily consistently outplayed White Bear Lake, but they sure made some key clutch plays.
No, and even in fact, the stats that we saw, White Bear Lake had outgained them and everything like that. But, the mistakes, as Coach Bartlett had talked about, we made too many mistakes. Well, they got away with a couple of them, too. They put the ball on the turf 4 times without ever giving it away on an actual fumble and turnover. Could have been much worse for the Bears.
Lang will kick it off here. How gutsy would you be if you onside kicked here to be in half number 2? I don't think we'll see that, but no, he's going to kick it high and short. Armstrong will wait for it and field it on the 10. Trying to go the other way, but he is in trouble and he'll be dropped. He lost yardage on that return all the way back to about the 5-yard line. Boy, the ball bouncing that high just really cost them. You see right there, nowhere to go.
That's a great spot to put that kick, too. I mean, he flirted with the sidelines, but it wasn't wide enough to let that go out of bounds, and he had to make a play on it, and there was really a lot of time for the White Bear Lake team, special teams, to get down there and make a play.
Collis Barber, who got nicked up briefly but came back in at quarterback. Thomas Barber in the backfield behind him, and the handoff will go to Thomas Barber. And he carries tacklers with him out to about the 14-yard line, so not quite enough for a first down, but not far from it.
Now, Thomas Barber coming into this game tonight only averaged 6 carries per game. I would give it to him 6 times on this drive. I mean, he's the one that you can really put this game on his back a little bit from an offensive standpoint, trying to get away with the win.
That was his 6th carry of the night. Here is his 7th. Barber running through an arm tackle and out over the 35 to about the 26. Give him a dozen.
Gets pretty good blocking out front, starting off tackle, but there you saw there was a defender right in his hole, Brendan Whalen. Whalen couldn't make the tackle, so he got away from him, got upfield for another first down for Armstrong.
Barber handing it off, fakes the handoff rather. Collis Barber keeping, and he is dumped. Short gainer around left side there.
And this is where, in film study, where you're going to want your quarterback, if he's going to run the football effectively, just to get a little bit more north and south there. He did a good job of trying to get to that edge. But, right there, he could have maybe got 1 more yard, and that would have made a big difference here coming up on second down. Second down and 7 is different than second down and 8, obviously.
Looked like they got a little mix-up in the backfield, but Thomas Barber still gets pretty decent yardage out to the 33. He'll pick up about 5. Weren't quite there with the timing, or the mesh point wasn't the greatest there, but still got the handoff to him, and now it will bring up a 3rd down and 4 here for the Falcons. Important for them to drive the ball at least a little bit here in this opening possession.
There's a free first down for you.
It's kind of embarrassing, and it makes you mad when you get knocked down like that, but you'll take it for 5 yards and a first down as the Bears jump offside.
Yeah, Connor Hubbs there just from that nose tackle position. I know coaches used to get so ticked off when it was that player who jumps off sides because the ball is literally right in front of their face.
from the 37 now. First down for Armstrong. Snap is bobbled, and Barber's just going to have to fall on it. So that does not help their cause as they'll lose about 4.
Not a good snap there. You wonder if that offsides maybe disrupted the center a little bit, because you see the nose tackle really comes across quick again. Actually, the snap is right on. I'll take that back. That was a good snap. Quarterback Barber, Collis Barber, just didn't handle it very cleanly.
I'll call it 2nd and 13 now after the loss. Olkey in there in the backfield with Thomas Barber right now.
They just took Collis Barber out.
Yeah, Olkey, in fact, is going to take this snap. He is their backup quarterback. Gives it to Thomas Barber. And not a whole lot there. Pretty well defended by the Bears that time. Give him a couple on the play. Doesn't really look as though Collis Barber's injured. Giving Olkey a little bit of time.
Well, the trainer is next to him, and he's kind of stretching out his quad. He has that Charlie horse, as reported earlier. It's one of those injuries you'd like to be able to play through, though. It's painful, but...
Olkey fakes the handoff, and here he goes up the middle. Good strong tackle, though, will bring him down short of the first down. It was 3rd and 12, and they got about 9. Good burst of speed, but just a solid tackle, although looking at it again, it was not as solid as technique as you'd like. He really didn't wrap up, but Whalen, with a shoulder block to his thigh, is able to knock him off his feet. And so Bowen will come on to punt. Gets away a pretty good kick. Fair catch called for and made at the 24-yard line there for the Bears by Whalen. And so White Bear Lake will get the football back. And the fact that Armstrong missed both extra points, Joe, kind of makes this feel like a little closer game than it would be if it were 14-3. I think, I mean, even though it's not a huge difference, it just, you know, looking at the scoreboard, even though it's still a 2-score game, White Bear Lake has to feel like they're, you know, in striking distance certainly here if they can get some big plays going. On dropping to throw, deep down the middle and batted away. Nice job for the Falcons there by Quinn. Got his left hand up and knocked that one away. It was going to be a completion, I think, if he didn't get this hand up.
Well, you see Quan, I complimented him earlier by putting some nice touch on the football, but on this one here, Con might have wanted to zip it in there a little bit more. Too much air underneath that ball.
Hand off there and not much happening. Is nice stop. As Damiani with the stop, and we've got an injury for White Bear. Scogan is injured. See, gets. I don't know if that right leg might have
got stuck
been
underneath
stuck
him.
underneath him a little bit, and he got twisted.
Yeah, when that happens, that's kind of that high ankle sprain injury that you fear. That foot can stick in the turf, and your body, the rest of your body moves and twists, and that foot's just stuck in there. Not good.
Well, and we talked about earlier in the game, or in the pregame, that it's been just quite a string of injuries for White Bear this year, and obviously Scogan is a pretty key cog. He had 83 yards rushing in that first half. He was really their biggest offense, and he is being helped to the sideline here. So we've got Anderson, who's been carrying the ball some, and I suspect he'll be counted on for a little more of the workload now. If it certainly does not appear from looking at this that we'd be likely to see Scogan anytime soon or at all tonight.
Yeah, you know, behind Brandon Whalen, he was second on the team in rushing attempts and first in the team in yards coming into this game, 3.8 yards per carry with only 3 touchdowns rushing on the season. They are going to miss him.
3rd down and 9 now for White Bear Lake. Armstrong looking to get a big stop and get the football back. Kahn, pretty good protection, throws deep down the middle of the field, and it's complete. Able to hook up with Perrin there for the catch.
Kahn gets great protection up in front of him, puts air underneath the football. This time Armstrong defense just not able to react and come and converge on that football quick enough. Big first down for the Bears.
25-yard pickup. They're into Armstrong territory. Here's Anderson taking it. Spins away. Barber pouncing on him, rides him down to the turf after about a 3, maybe 4-yard gain. Give him 4.
Classic run there by Anderson where there really wasn't much there, but because he was able to spin and fall forward, he got a couple extra yards just out of that momentum, taking him down.
2nd and 6. Kahn with time, throws complete to Lockwood over the middle, and now they're starting to click inside the 30 down to about the 29. Give him 16 more on that gainer.
That's just too easy right now. They're just throwing that slant right across the middle, and Lockwood's just getting open. They're not able to cover him. Right now they're trying to cover him with Damiani. It looks to be a little bit of a mismatch between the two of those players. He's paired up against an outside backer, and he's a skilled wide receiver.
Ball dropped by Kahn, and Bowen's going to get there and spin him down. Kahn took his eye off the ball a little bit as he was receiving that snap. It didn't appear to be too bad of a snap, and they're going to lose about 7. Those are the kind of things that can be drive killers. I mean, yeah, you're glad you didn't lose the football right there, but especially when you've been effective the last couple and put yourself in a hole like this.
Looked like another shot to the foot, I think is what Coach Bartlett called it.
Kahn, a deep drop, and throwing over the middle, and intercepted. No mismatch there, right, Joe?
I mean, that was beautifully played. I mean, you know, fool me once, well, he got fooled twice, and then the third time they tried to dial it up, he reacted. I mean, he cheated to the inside, and he made the adjustment before White Bear Lake did. Runs right with him, and that's just a great play. What looked like a mismatch the previous 2 attempts, he took away the inside and made a great play. You got to give Damiani a lot of credit right there. What a great reaction and adjustment made by the junior linebacker.
Angelo Damiani with the pick for the Falcons, so they will get the ball back, and it is going to be Olke at quarterback. So not sure if Barber is a little nicked up or if he's just running a little option out to the left, and the pitch. Nice tackle closing fast.
It was a nice little interesting way to try to get to the edge. They've struggled to get to the edge of that line right there, and they used kind of a speed option right there to do it. Worked out effectively, picking up a long 3 or a short 4 yards, bringing up 2nd down and 6.
And faked a handoff to nobody, and then takes off running, and will be a first down. Looked like they were not on the same page in the backfield, but still going to be a pickup of about 10 for Olke. You see, he fakes, and there's no one there.
You know, I think that might have been the quarterback, Olke, his own mistake, because you can see everybody else was blocking to the right and going right. He looked like he was looking for a left inside handoff. Might be a new play they have to add to the repertoire, though, to pick up that first down.
Olke looked like the same thing again, and here he goes. Short pickup this time.
Wow, there's a play there that's confusing him whether he's supposed to open up inside or to the outside, hand it off, and I almost think it's worthy of a timeout to figure things out here.
Yeah, you might get away with it once or twice, but you're not gonna thrive offensively, I don't think, with that happening too often. 2nd down and 11 here for the Falcons. Handoff going to Hagum, trying to break out of there, and he does. Gets a block to the outside and into Bears territory before he's submarined down around the 45, or inside it, in fact. About a 25-yard pickup for Hagum.
it's, Armstrong's moved the chains twice, and it's a little bit of smoke and mirrors because this didn't look like a well-designed play either. I mean, look at all that penetration in the backfield. This play should not have went anywhere. White Bear Lake there, but nobody really finishing the play and making the tackle. Give Armstrong credit, though, on the running ability to get to the outside there.
So from the 44 now of White Bear Lake, Olkey reversed to Betts. Uh-oh, he is in trouble and knocked down hard. Wow. Huge play for the Bears, but we get a flag at the end of the play. White Bear Lake might be getting an unsportsmanlike call perhaps here.
I think he flexed a little bit, but I don't. That was interesting. I don't know if he maybe yelled something or what, but there was a quick flag after the reaction, after the tackle. Great defensive presence getting in the backfield and making that play by Connor Hubbs. But then he gets an unsportsmanlike.
Sideline warning. So no penalty, it's a sideline warning. They got so excited that they came off the sideline a little bit. I think coach is jumping around, and whoa, that's a huge loss.
Well, they want to get Betts the football in some space, but that was not the kind of space they had in mind. That was well behind the line of scrimmage when he took that handoff, and he had a couple of Bears waiting for him.
A loss of 13. I think Betts maybe wanted to decline the handoff there. Back to Hegum, and wrapped up and down he goes. And the Bears seem to be getting a little fired up. That last play really got him going a little bit, and there's going to be no gain on this play, so.
The interior, the defensive line for White Bear Lake is really winning the matchup, which is interesting because Armstrong's been able to get a couple of first downs, and I kind of called it smoke and mirrors earlier, but they're winning the battle on the line of scrimmage, and they're blowing the offensive line from Armstrong off the ball, but they're just not finishing the play and making plays, but now here 2 plays in a row they have, and you can see the difference.
3rd and 23. Armstrong with the lead and their second QB in. I doubt they're going to go for anything real high risk here. And the pass off the hands of Thompson and incomplete. It was a little bit behind him. Nice play action fake there, stepped into it, but not quite where he wanted to put that throw. And so Bowen will come on to punt here for Armstrong. 3:26 to go in the third. If you're just joining us, we had a half-hour lightning delay right as halftime ended. So if you're thinking, well, why are they not farther along in this game, that would be the reason. Pretty good rush coming. Ooh, and Bowen just gets it out of there, and it is a beauty. Drifting all the way back to the 12, and then he retreats even farther. There's a flag flying there on that one. It looks like a block in the back on the Bears.
Pretty obvious penalty coming here on White Bear Lake. Block in the back right out in the open, and the near official, which I don't know. I don't know why he didn't call it, but it took someone that had a little bit better vision of that play and made the call. It was the right call, but what a punt. And that's the big story here. Talk about changing the field position.
And you'll see right as he changes directions right there.
Kind of unnecessary block, J2. It's one of those block in the backs where you just shake your head because I think the runner was probably free of that defender.
So White Bear Lake going to be pushed all the way back to about the 6-yard line. And they have had occasional issues handling the ball too, so hasn't really cost him yet, but Kahn dropping into the end zone. Barber hits him as he throws, and it goes too high and incomplete. Thomas Barber was just about there. Definitely impacted that throw. And White Bear Lake going for the deep throw over the middle, and probably fortunate this wasn't picked off.
Well, it seems like they're throwing slants and crossing routes and posts right now. They just got to throw something to the outside routes. While Armstrong, I think, is finally keying in on where that football is going.
Kahn's going to hand it off to Anderson this time. Broke through the first tackle, but couldn't get away entirely, as Barber had him by the lower leg and just wouldn't let go. Got about 5 on the carry, though. Gave him a little breathing room, and now a key third down coming up here for the Bears. And the ball's loose. Kahn picking it up, but he's in trouble, and Barber drops him all the way back near the goal line. It'll be spotted at about the 2 or maybe the 1. Barber closing fast as Kahn picked it up and tried to find some room, but it wasn't going to happen.
That's like finding a shark with blood in the water right there. Barber saw that ball on the ground and he just took off after Kahn. I think we're at 6 fumbles now for White Bear Lake. They haven't lost any of them, but obviously it's disrupted drives and really drove the Bears backwards, and it's probably driving Coach Bartlett crazy as well.
You see Whalen standing right at the back of the end zone. Gets a good snap, though, and he gets away a pretty decent kick. Armstrong does not have anybody deep. And they're going to get it in very good field position anyway, as it'll roll, though, all the way out to the 48. So about a 46-yard punt there, and a good one considering the circumstances, like we saw on the other side, too. So Armstrong will get the ball back in plus territory here at the Bears 48. 1:47 to go here in the third quarter. No scoring in this half so far. It's 12-3 Armstrong.
You see Armstrong kind of hanging on to this 12-3 lead, and they got new players coming into the backfield. You got the backup quarterback in. You also have a running back that's a little bit further down on the depth chart now, and as well as Evan McMillan has checked in at running back.
Betts in the backfield right now as well. Fake the handoff. Oki now a flag down. Oki taking some punishment as he's driven back. See what this flag, it might be a hold perhaps. It came right in the middle, yes. Holding on Armstrong. Bears trying to kind of generate some momentum with their defense right now.
Watch 55, Malik Bessick there getting the holding call on him for Armstrong.
So that'll push him back to the 41. First and 21 coming up here for Armstrong. Thomas Barber back in the backfield. Oki handing it off, and Thomas Barber on the move. Nice open field tackle by Whalen, but he'll rip off a nice gainer there. About 14 yards there.
And a good hole opened up on that right side, too. I mean, credit the Armstrong offensive line. We've given Barber a lot of credit for the way he runs the football, but that time right there, he didn't have to. He could hit the hole that he was designed to run through, and did so with good speed and good vision. Got upfield in a hurry and had good blocking behind it.
Yeah, when you can take those first few steps confidently that there's something there, it really opens up the opportunities on a play like that. 2nd and 7 now after the penalty and then the nice gainer. Back to Thomas Barber, shakes off the first man. Barber bouncing it out, not going to get enough for the first down. He'll pick up about 4.
A guy like Barber is a lot easier to tackle when he's going sideline to sideline. You can see that right there. He started going east to west, and that's when the Bears have him right where they want him. When he goes, upfield, north and south, he's impossible to take down. But when he goes sideline to sideline like that, you could see how they closed in on him and made a nice tackle in the open field.
I think they're going to let the quarter run down here and take a lead into the 4th. It looks like we will not see another snap here from the Falcons. Big lightning delay, and now we've played the third quarter, a scoreless quarter. Our score after 3 here in Armstrong's homecoming. Falcons 12, Bears 3. The fourth quarter's up next.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Third and 4 here for Armstrong as we start the fourth quarter. They go back to Barber. He's met immediately and just too many bodies there. He's fighting hard, but not going to escape all of those tacklers. And he did not even get back to the line of scrimmage there, as White Bear was ready for that one, safe to say. And he'll lose a couple. Looks like, considering the score and field position and all that, they're going to punt. And also the fact that you don't have your first QB in there maybe, you know, impacts that decision a little bit too. But Bowen is going to punt. And Bowen again just getting it away. A late fair catch called and made at the 15-yard line. He's been a nice weapon tonight as a punter. You talked a lot about how he was playing well defensively, but he's a couple of clutch kicks.
Clutch kicks, and he's getting, you know, he's not only just getting off, though, he's actually changing the field a little bit, too, with the fact that he's got some nice air, and they've had to fair catch a couple of them now, and it's really made a difference.
White Bear Lake has been sporadic offensively all night long. And looks like a new quarterback for the Bears. Yep. Whalen is going to be the quarterback. And a timeout taken. So Kahn, not sure if, I'm going to have to guess it's probably more a performance thing than I didn't see any injury, but you know, kind of change things up a little bit. They just have been kind of hit and miss tonight offensively. They lost the back Scogan too to an injury, so Anderson will probably be getting the bulk of things back there, but interesting scenarios for both of these teams. That's why you try to build quality depth. I mean, Armstrong now using their second quarterback. White Bear Lake was on their third quarterback of the coming into the season. What they expected would be their third guy. Now another one will replace him.
And you know, it's gonna be tough for Coach Bartlett and White Bear Lake. You know, this is an important game for him coming home to the school that gave him his first shot at coaching, and his team just kind of hasn't really strung together enough successful plays here tonight.
And we're going to have a flag and a procedure penalty against the Bears before this one gets underway. So that'll push them back to the 10-yard line. Whalen's just going to tuck it and go here, and he'll pick up back the penalty yardage.
Whalen has played quarterback for the Bears in 2 games this year, had a completion percentage of 52.3%, but was intercepted 4 times and threw 1 touchdown, but he ran the ball a lot from the quarterback spot in his 2 games of playing in the QB position.
Throws it out into the flat, complete to Lockwood, and Lockwood will have enough for the first down as he bounces out close to the 40-yard line, or 30-yard line, excuse me, and pickup of 13 or so and a first down.
Little bubble screen, just throw out to Lockwood there, and then he gets to the outside, and he's good, strong wide receiver. It's a little bit of a cushion he's working with over there because of his catches earlier in the game.
And thrown out into the flat, and that one will fall incomplete, as Perrin didn't quite have his head turned. It was thrown short anyway, but he was not expecting that ball quite as soon as it arrived. So second down and 10 here for the Bears. Gonna hand it off to Anderson, well defended by Armstrong. Wasn't much there to speak of. And no gain on that play.
Defensively, Armstrong's got a lot better against this run as the game has gone on.
Yeah, there were some big holes early on. Looking to throw. A flag is down, and they may decline this penalty. He got some yardage, but not nearly enough for the first down. And
I don't know if you're White Bear Lake, how many more times can you punt the football away? It's a 2-score game, 10 minutes left. You know, if they decline this, I think if you're White Bear Lake, you'd probably go for it.
they are going to take the penalty, though. They're going to push him back 5 more.
I think
Or
10
10
more,
more,
right? Yeah,
excuse
so
me.
I think that's a difference, too. I mean, if it was only 5 more, maybe you might think of it. I think 10 more ensures that you give your defense room, that you should be able to make a stop, and that you should be able to force them to punt the football.
That's kind of a confident call right there, I think, saying that, you know what, we're not going to be dissatisfied with maybe just getting the football on a punt. We want to punish them and move them back. So 3rd and 23 for White Bear Lake. Whalen's throw, and it is intercepted by Barber. His second pick of the night, and the Falcons will have it inside the 20-yard line. Thomas Barber, we talked about how many tackles he had coming into this game. He'd already forced 2 fumbles, and now he has a couple of picks to his credit as well. This has got to be one of the better defensive players in the Northwest Suburban.
Yeah, I mean, he just absolutely jumps that play. And the funny thing is, if he didn't pick it off, Damiani might have had his second one because he had read that play too. You can see Whalen not quite the confident passer that his counterpart was earlier in the game, as he kind of telegraphed that pass a little bit too much, and Barber will make you pay. As much as you want Barber to blitz, he's made better plays when he hasn't blitzed here tonight.
Olkey and company, they've got it inside the 20, about the 18. Hands it off, and well defended that time. Hammond not going too far on that one.
He's played a nice football game up front, so I got to point it out, but the nose tackle Connor Hubbs is really dominating up front right now for White Bear Lake, and there's not much running room between the 2 guards for Armstrong.
And short loss actually for Hegem on the play, maybe about a yard or so. Thomas Barber is back in there defensively, or offensively I should say, at that back slot. 2nd and 11 here for Armstrong. They will go to Thomas Barber, trying to bounce it outside. Runs through a couple tackles, tightropes down the sideline, and he will be out of bounds at the 10. Or just shy of, well, it looks like right about the 10. I think it's going to be short of the first down by about a half yard or so. In some ways, this isn't so bad for Armstrong. You'd like to, I think you'd like this drive to use up a little time and then ultimately end with a touchdown would be the ideal world. But of course, he did go out of bounds there too, so it does stop the clock. But 3rd and a yard. Trying to draw the Bears offside, and it looks like they may have done so. Yep, offside defense. First down, goal to go Armstrong.
You know, the one unfortunate thing for White Bear Lake is, you know, the coach Sparla talked about at halftime, well, we just got to correct the mistakes, and that just simply hasn't happened in the second half. The mistakes have really carried over here in the second half, with lightning delay or not.
The 1st and goal from the 5 here for Armstrong. Olkey moving down the line to make sure his linemen can hear him there. He's got Thomas Barber in the backfield with him. He bobbles the snap, and he's just going to run it himself, and all things considered, didn't turn out too badly, as he'll pick up about 3.
Yeah, luckily for him, the blocking was pretty strong up front, so there was nobody in the backfield with him, but he did a good job just not trying to hand the ball off, as I think the play was probably designed for. Just get upfield, put your head down, see if you can't pick up a yard or 2.
He's not a real big guy, but he does have a pretty quick burst when he gets going upfield. Of course, he was in there as a running back earlier, so you know he's a guy that they can count on to lug the ball some. Handoff goes to Barber, and the Bears are all over that. And that'll be a loss on the play, so Armstrong going backward a little bit on that one, boy.
And Justin Baker in the backfield for White Bear Lake, as well as Marcus Gilmore nearly taking that handoff.
Hard to imagine how they would have lost that much if forward progress were granted there, but all the way back outside the 10, so about a 7-yard loss. So 3rd down goal to go here for Armstrong. 7:45. Boy, another touchdown here would go a long way toward trying to seal this one up. But if the Bears get a stop, you've still got an opportunity. And it's going to be a delay of game. They did not get the snap off in time. Well, I guess if you're looking for a silver lining here, it opens up a little more space to throw the ball if that's ultimately what you're going to end up doing.
Yeah, watch the fade to the far side of the football field. They have that height advantage over there with True Thompson.
Another snap getting away. Olkey gets through the first tackler, but he's still going to be caught just inside the 14. He'll get a couple, but that's about it. And we'll see what kind of confidence, if any, they have in maybe attempting a field goal here. I don't see any hint that we're going to get that, though. Does not look like it.
If you have confidence in your kicking game, you know, you got to do the math here. You're up by 9, so that's, you know, a 2-score lead. You could go up by 12. That's still not 2 touchdowns ahead, but it's a touchdown and a field goal. You know, a touchdown and field goal can't catch you. That's the way you got to be thinking right now.
I think we're going to see timeout here for Armstrong. They let as much time wind down as they could and then want to make a decision here.
I think the field goal is probably out of the question.
Yeah.
So now they're taking the timeout here. I mean, if they had any confidence in their kicking game, you line up and kick the field goal, and you feel confident that you have more than a 10-point, 11-point lead, right?
Yeah, I would agree.
And you know 2 touchdowns has to beat you.
Well,
But,
aside from the fact that maybe they don't have, you know, like a superstar kicker, you also look back to that first extra point where they allowed a ton of penetration and it was blocked easily.
Yeah, it's the confidence in your kicking game, not necessarily your kicker, right?
Exactly.
I mean, it's the protection and everything, and the snap. I mean, they haven't been able to hold the last 2 shotgun snaps. So, yeah, I think you design a play up here that you get 15 yards on. And
I think a question, too, becomes, do you feel like you need to throw the ball directly into the end zone, or do you take a chance maybe on hitting a Betts or somebody like that and, you know, letting them see if they can run it in, too?
I want to take my chance one-on-one with True Thompson, see if he can't make a play or get a passing interference call.
Okay. Here we go, 4th down and goal. He is going to throw, looking for Thompson, and he's got it. Touchdown. Nice call, Joe. That's a big one for the Falcons.
I think you got a weapon out there in True Thompson, and unfortunately for the Falcons, and they just don't have the quarterback play that's experienced enough to get the ball in the hands of what I think looks like a pretty talented group of wide receivers. But right here, that's a perfect throw. So you got to give the quarterback all the credit in the world. That throw was put right on the money. Nice job by Olkey, and True Thompson comes down with it. That's a big one.
They will go for 2 here, leading at 18-3. Olkey wants to throw again, and this one is batted down. He wanted to go to Thompson again. Falcons asking for interference, but they're not going to get it. The D-back came over the top and chopped downward, able to knock it away. So the conversion, no good, but the touchdown is. Great throw, and also good concentration by Thompson, because you see right there, they went for the ball, but he didn't allow it to be knocked out of his hands. He kept his concentration.
It was pretty good coverage. I mean, the defensive back had his left hand in there, tried to take a swat at the ball, had his right hand kind of on the back of Thompson. It's just an excellent play. He kind of caught it with one hand and shielded off the defender with the left hand. That's a great play, and 6'4" wide receiver, part of that junior class that we've been talking about here tonight. They've made some big plays. You know, Armstrong obviously being a Channel 12 team compared to White Bear Lake, you got to feel good for the Falcons. Not only for that reason, but I mean, the big reason is, a team that hasn't won in so long, coming out here on homecoming and looking like they're 6 minutes and 42 seconds away from a victory.
Breaks, faking the reverse, and there's a lot of room to go. Spins out of a tackle and out to about the 48-yard line, so a good shot in the arm for the Bears. Yeah, the Falcons winless a season ago, and quite frankly weren't close in very many of them at all. I mean, their last year was about as rough as it could get.
I think they were averaging, gave up 45 points on average per game. Go back even a year prior to that, they won one football game, I think, and so it's been a rough stretch here for the Falcons.
Back in there is Kahn at quarterback, steps up out of the rush, gets away from Barber and ridden down hard from behind by Bowen. He did get a pretty decent gainer there of about 6. So as I suspected, it wasn't really that Kahn was injured before. They just wanted to try something different with Whalen, but now Kahn has come back in. Looking to throw. Now going to run toward the line and throw, and almost intercepted. First it was Damiani, and then in the back they nearly had a crack at it as well. As McDonough Pearson had it fall just short of him as he tried to change directions there.
I actually like Kahn as a quarterback a little bit, but I think some of it is he must look down the middle of the field a lot, or they don't have enough plays designed to the outside, because I just haven't seen him throw anything to the outside, and they're kind of keying in now on that in the middle of the field.
3rd and 4, and the snap gets away from him, and Kahn will pick it up, but he is dropped.
I mean, we're getting darn near double digits the number of times the ball's been on the turf tonight here for White Bear Lake, and mistakes just continue to mount. This is not one of those game tapes that's going to really be watched too often for White Bear Lake. You're going to try to learn from it one time, and then you're going to put that in the homecoming bonfire next week.
4th and a mile here. Kahn's going to throw it up deep down the sideline. And it is batted away by Lovett Armstrong. Held his ground there and got a piece of that one. So the Bears, would, this late in the game, they pretty much had to go for it here. And they took a shot down the field, but it doesn't work out. Good coverage. Thought for a second they might sneak it in there just because of the height difference, but
he just makes a great play on the ball. Armstrong timed his jump perfectly, met the ball at its highest point there, and makes a good play.
So the Falcons will take over on downs at the White Bear Lake 38-yard line here, trying to salt away their first win. Oki will hand it off, and that one's going nowhere. So McClellan takes that handoff, and he will lose lose about 4, in fact.
McClellan is not the size of the kind of running back you like to milk out a clock with. 5'6", 145, running for his life on that previous play. Let's see if they can't block a little bit better for him in this next one.
2nd and about 14 here. They'll take the handoff again and down to about the 40, so just a couple more yards. Let's see, we might have a timeout taken by White Bear, and we do. So the Bears doing all they can to give themselves a slim chance here. They're down 15, 4:34 to go. It'll be 3rd and long coming up here for the Falcons. Obviously, White Bear Lake wanted to build on that win over Woodbury last week. And, for Ryan Bartlett, I mean, it's not like something he dwells on, but obviously coming back here, he would have liked to have a real good showing and come out with a win. But right now, not looking that way, as Armstrong is kind of in the driver's seat here.
Yeah, I think, in a coach's mind, they can even downplay it a little bit, but this is a big game to come out and show that you maybe come to a better place. It's just something of a personal pride, and And for Armstrong, it has to feel good to get any kind of win here. But to also beat the coach that was once in the program, even though a lot of these players might not have played for him because they're a little bit younger, but they were once kind of looking up to the program and looking to play for him eventually.
Yeah, he was the head coach when the seniors were 9th graders, so didn't play directly, but they were around him. And this one is going nowhere.
Well, we've seen White Bear Lake come really close to blocking some punts here tonight, Jay, and you got to believe they're going to be coming after this one. Timeout, obviously, to stop the clock, but also it gives them some time to really talk it over how they're going to get after this ball. I'm trying to make some plays here. I mean, White Bear Lake, this game's not over. I mean, as much as we're talking, it feels like it's over because they haven't been able to put multiple plays together. But it's still 15 points in 4.5 minutes. It's certainly within reach. It's only 2 touchdowns. 1 2-point conversion.
Bowen's been a good punter here tonight, but he has been under some pressure. Good snap. Pretty good blocking, and he gets away another good kick. Fair catch call, but it's going to jump into the end zone there. So 44-yard punt, but 24 net. But definitely not something Armstrong minds there. I mean, yes, you'd like to be greedy and say we're going to pin him inside the 10, but you'll definitely take that. You get the punt away clean, give them the ball at the 20.
How about Armstrong, a defense that I think never gave up less than 35 points last year here. Not pitching a shutout here tonight, but with 3 points on the scoreboard, that's got to feel pretty good from defensive standpoint.
4:19 to play. The Bears need to get things going in a hurry. They need 2 scores. Going to go to breaks on the end around here. Ooh, and a hard collision there as he crossed the 30-yard line. Looks like it'll be enough for a first down. Yep, he got 11.
The 23s meet there as Leas finishes off that play. Nice big hit there on the sidelines.
From the 31 here, 1st and 10 for the Bears. On dropping to throw, and he's in trouble. Bowen gets to him and drops him. Big sack. All the way back to the 20-yard line, a loss of 11. Bowen's had a tremendous night.
Oh, he's been awesome tonight. Just absolutely awesome against the run, and then to get in here late in the game on a pass rush and get through and get a sack, that's an amazing feeling right there.
Rush coming as they try and set up a middle screen. Nice catch by Breaks, but well defended.
Well, Bowen sniffed it out again. I mean, we're giving him a lot of credit, but look at this. He notices that he gets in there free. He loses his footing. Watch 12 from the kind of top left of your screen here. You'll see him get off his knees because he lost his footing when he realized it was a screen, but he gets back into the play, makes the tackle, and gets some help from Barber.
Basically no gain on that one. Kahn eludes the first rusher now. He might have been over the line of scrimmage. He was. The pass is complete, but it's not going to count. He was over the line. Looks like we might have a late hit at the end of this as well. I was watching the official as he stepped over the line. He clearly threw the flag for that. But I think we might have something late at the end here as well.
Did the quarterback get hit? That's the question. I didn't see that part of it. Can't tell if the 2 flags were for the same thing or not.
They came out
definitely
quite a bit of
times,
time apart, so that makes me think probably not. There's the illegal forward pass signal. That's a loss of down penalty. And I guess it looks like they were both flags were for the same thing. So it was not a separate infraction. They were both officials saw the same. So that loss of down is huge, obviously. So now it's 4th down. I mean, this is basically the game if they hold them here. Kahn stepping up, rolling, firing, complete. And they'll have the first down out to the 45-yard line. He was close to the line of scrimmage again, but not quite there.
Well, Kahn bought himself some time, and it's always hard to guard and cover that long into a play, but there was a big cushion left there on the tight end.
Kahn stepping up, throwing it deep. Chance for an interception, and Armstrong got it. Evan Armstrong with the pick. 4th interception of the night for Armstrong. The team, not the player. That's his first.
And Kahn trying to test his arm strength down the sideline. Armstrong just comes over from the safety spot. It's double coverage.
This was more of a, I hope he can be open, because he never was at any point in the route.
Well, he was being covered by Damiani early, and Damiani kind of passed him off to the safety, exactly how cover 2 works to perfection. And with this Armstrong defense, they've been hawking the ball all night long.
And McClellan takes the handoff.
That's what McClellan looks like when he gets good blocking. Feel bad for the guy. Every time he's gotten the ball, they've swarmed him on him. That time, good protection, good block along the left side there, and he showed his shiftiness and his quickness to get to the outside.
Falcons want to use some time here, no doubt, as well. Second and 3 after a 7-yard gain.
One first down could do it here.
Hands it off again. McClellan's going to have the first down. Trying to stay in bounds here. Will be knocked down at about the 48. Give him about a 20-yard pickup.
He did say he was out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. He stays in bounds. That might have iced it, but a nice run. He does the right thing here. He cuts back into the middle there, but he got pushed out. A couple nice runs there to finish off the night for him as well.
1st and 10 from the 48 now for Armstrong. Trying to seal up a win. Fake to no one. Again, I don't think there's much chance that's by design, but Oki will lose a few on this one.
It's amazing how a win will mask some mistakes that otherwise are just, I'm sure it's still irritating to the coaching staff that that's happening right now, but it's the score on the scoreboard right now is kind of overriding that frustration, I imagine.
Bench keeping look at the time. Back judge eyeing his watch here. You don't want to take the delay, but you want to use as much time as you can. And a big hole for McClellan, but it closes in a hurry. Nice tackle, too. May with the tackle and a timeout taken by White Bear Lake. 1:18 remaining in the Armstrong student section. And inching their way down. It sounds like they're going to make a run for the field here tonight. And a memorable night all around. I mean, you get the lightning delay and going to get a big win for the Falcons, it looks like.
I'm not trying to put too much importance on football, but I don't think there's any other sport that brings more school pride, in winning. And, you can overstate how important football is sometimes, but you can also make note that, when a football team wins on a Friday night, it makes everybody feel a little bit better going back to school next week, and everyone has their head lifted up a little bit higher. So it'll feel good for this Armstrong school tonight, and you can see that you'll see that excitement a little bit here when the fans run on the field.
3rd and 11 coming up here for Armstrong. Ball security really the biggest thing right now, though. And they hand it off. And Hegem doesn't get much of anything, a short loss, but not really a big concern right there. It'll be 4th down coming up. We'll be under a minute. And they have to snap again. Looks like they will bring the punt team on. Wouldn't even really shock me that much if they just took a delay here. You see Jack Negan, I'm not sure they may not even snap it until the flag flies here. The yardage doesn't really matter too much. You just want to use up all of the time that you can. Oh, maybe they're going to tick it down and take a timeout at 1 second on the play clock. So 29 seconds left in this game, and Armstrong is going to score a victory here tonight.
Oh, they got the coach with the Gatorade bucket. He almost dodged it though. Quick feed from the coach.
Jack Negan going to get victory number 1 with the Falcons. And
well, for colleges and pro teams, it's easy for them to reimburse and pay for those equipment that he has, though.
good feeling, no doubt, for him. He just talked about how he wants these guys to have a good experience, and that's the first and foremost. I mean, you don't hear a lot of coaches say that. You know, yes, we'd like to have some wins and there's a blocked punt. Armstrong recovers, but the Bears will get it right there. But first and foremost, he said, I want these guys to come out here and have a good experience playing football, have fun at it, and then let the rest of things develop from there.
Yeah, I mean, I saw your story you did on him during the two-a-days training camp interview, and it was like, I had to come here and tell these guys, it's okay to have fun. Football's supposed to be fun. It's okay for us to smile and joke around and have fun. Winning is fun.
Bears get it back at the 38, only 24 seconds to go, no timeouts remaining. Kahn, all kinds of time as he rolls out, surveys the field. He's going to tuck it up and run. And he will be brought down at the 22. It's enough for a first down, which stops the clock, but they're not going to have a whole lot of time once the clock winds again. They chop the clock, or chop the ball back in, ready for play, and now Kahn takes a snap. Flags flying.
Yeah, they weren't set.
Kahn hit as he throws. Pass is complete, but he got into the end zone, but there was a penalty on the play.
Hold on. Decline the penalty and give him the touchdown and take the win, or do you take the penalty and play one more play to keep the score off the board?
You
gotta take the penalty, right?
Yeah, I think you have to. I don't.
Yeah, you want that 3 points. You don't want to give up 6 points.
The thing is, they may be illegal motion.
They might lose the play altogether.
Yeah, they might just say we're at 0 on the clock anyway, and that might be it. So
I don't know the rules.
The touchdown's not going to count.
Yeah, I think you got to play one last play here just to kind of. I've never seen anything like this before.
Well, if you're Armstrong, you think you'd be saying, well, it's going to be one untimed play, basically. We're already at 0 on the clock, so one more chance. Kahn dropping to throw. And he's going to be dumped one last time. And the Falcons have broken the drought. Armstrong will win it tonight 18-3 as their fans make their way out onto the field. Strange evening, but they made more plays. And the Armstrong players telling all their kids, get away here until we're done with the handshake. You don't want them running up, interacting with the Bears players. That could get ugly. So,
but they want to take selfies next to the handshake line.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think it's a good idea. If you run up, it'd be hard to fault a White Bear guy for being really upset, and if some guys run up and taunt him now and he clocks them, it'd be hard to blame him, really, I think. So good job by the Armstrong players to they want to celebrate too, and nobody's saying they can't, but don't get in interacting with the White Bear guys. So well, a nice victory for Armstrong. It's the first for Jack Negan. He's standing by with Lindsay.
No, she's not.
A quick walkover for Coach Nagin as he celebrates his first win here tonight. Now, Coach, obviously we're going to get you back to your team here shortly, but what a night for you guys. A strong first half. You guys came out in the second half and never even let up. How's this first win feel?
You know what? I'm proud of the kids. I'm proud of the seniors. They've been waiting for this, and you know what? Our kids deserve it. We have great kids. They deserve this win.
I've got to ask, because you got the Gatorade bath. Is it as cold as it looks on TV?
You know what? We've done the Ice Bucket Challenge, so it's about the same.
All right, go celebrate, Coach. Congratulations. We'll catch up with some of the players after we grab them from what is no doubt a big mob out there of some very excited Armstrong fans and players.
Thanks, Lindsay, and you are absolutely correct. It is a big mob behind you there, but nice job, and we appreciate Jack taking a couple minutes there. He was a little emotional. A lot of hard work goes into all this for he and his staff and all these players, and that's the thing that sometimes gets lost is that even the teams that aren't winning, they're still putting in a ton of time and effort, and it means an awful lot when it pays off on a night like tonight.
You know, I have an older brother who played on a team that never won a football game his junior and senior season, and it's sad with him. I mean, that's a thing that really kills at you. And I remember him coming back and watching my teams later on in life when he was in college, and how much he loved watching us win football games, and how much he was envious of that experience. That these guys work hard week in and week out. They go put their best effort out there. They play with their best friends, and winning just makes it even more worth it. But it's a great experience altogether, but winning is really the ultimate payoff.
So an 18-3 victory here for Armstrong. Falcons making their way down, and a huge play was late in the first half. A big catch and run by Dexter Betts, and he is with Lindsay right now.
I've never had to do this before. I literally had to go out onto the field and grab players as he's being mobbed by fans. Homecoming King, a huge touchdown in the first half. How's this win feel?
Feels good, man. All hard work played off, man. Just you got to keep working. Hard work do pay off. That's all I got to say. Just got to keep it. It feels so good just to win. Homecoming.
A big win for the Falcons in front of the home crowd, and you said it, it's homecoming, but number one for Coach Nagin. What did he say at halftime that kind of cemented what you guys were going to put on the field?
He just kept believing us, and what he said really hit the heart, and we just kept believing and listening to him, just keep working hard. He was a leader for us. He was always there for us. He was good.
Dexter Betts, homecoming king, scoring the touchdown tonight that put them up 12-0. Go celebrate with your teammates.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks very much, and doesn't get a whole lot better than that. You add in that homecoming king part. This will probably be a night that Dexter and a lot of his friends are going to remember for quite a while, Joe.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think you know, I can attest to you remember a lot of the big wins, you know, years removed from high school, and this one here's a special one for these guys tonight. But on the day that he was homecoming king, and then, you know, that play in that game. I mean, if you go back to that moment of the game, it's a 6-3 ball game. And Armstrong sitting at their 1 yard line, and White Bear Lake's thinking we're going to get the safety. Well, they gave themselves a little bit of breathing room on first down, and then I think it was second down where they popped Betts on that big play. And that's what blew open the game a little bit and really put Armstrong in a great situation tonight.
Lindsay's got one more of the key guys for tonight. Let's go down to Lindsay.
Thanks, guys. Thomas Barber, a huge night for you on both sides of the ball. 2 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, and a touchdown. How's it feel?
It feels great. It just feels to get that team win. That's all I care about. Just that team win. First one in a year and a half, and I'm just so happy.
All of the guys on the team have kind of echoed your sentiments, including Coach Nagin. What was said at halftime that cemented how you guys were going to play in the second half?
We just had to keep staying focused. We couldn't let the weather delay get to us, and we just stayed focused, and we came out, and we performed the second half.
Did the second half, you said the weather delay, there was a half-an-hour lightning delay, but then the field is definitely wet. Does that change things for you guys?
It did. It changed our passing game. We started running a lot more, but it worked out for us.
It definitely did. Congratulations. Go celebrate.
Thank you.
What a night for Armstrong as they win their first game of the season, first under Coach Nagin and homecoming. And you heard from some of the players and the coach themselves. It's one that they're going to remember for a very long time.
Sometimes, Lindsay, thanks very much, Lindsay. And sometimes, you know, the homecoming part of it, you wonder how much does that matter. But it has to make this win feel a lot better when they had so many students around, which isn't always the case at every high school game. And then when you had a program that hasn't been winning that much, to see all of their friends and classmates in the stands got to make them feel good too.
Oh, it's sweeter. There's no question about that. And I'm sure there's a dance here tonight that they get to sit around and not talk about another loss. They get to sit there tonight, celebrate, show off their best dance moves, and talk about that big win tonight.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed tonight's game, and thanks for sticking with us during the lightning delay as well. Thanks very much to Lindsay working hard down there on the sideline for us. For Joe Moline and all of the rest of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Armstrong wins its first game of the season tonight. Falcons take it 18-3 over White Bear Lake. Watch for their district rival Cooper Saturday afternoon live on 12 Sports as the Hawks try to go to 4-0. Good night from Armstrong High School, where it's a big win for the Falcons.